The Pittsburgh Steelers are preparing for their Week 7 Thursday Night Football game against the AFC North rival Cincinnati Bengals, and head coach Mike Tomlin may have less patience than usual with the short week. Tomlin was annoyed with some of the questions he received from reporters when he met with the media on Monday. We know this because he said it as he was walking away from the podium. The final question Tomlin was asked during the 20-minute session was about Joe Flaco. Specifically, the reporter wanted Tomlin's thoughts on how difficult it is for a quarterback to be traded and then have to start 2 games within 8 days of joining his new team. Tomlin bluntly said that it doesn't appear to be hard for Joe Flaco. Tomlin then seemed relieved that the press conference had ended. "Boy, you guys were annoying me today," he said as he walked away. "How hard is it to show up and start 2 games in 8 days for a new team? Doesn't appear to be hard for Joe Flaco." Mike Tomlin. Then Tomlin walks away and says, "Y'all were annoying me today." The question about Flaco seemed plenty fair, so it is unclear what Tomlin was bothered by. Tomlin also took what some found to be a surprising shot at the Cleveland Browns earlier in the press conference. He may have simply been in a sour mood. Tomlin should be plenty happy with the way the season has gone for the Steelers thus far. They beat the Browns on Sunday to improve to 4-1, and they are favored against the Bengals heading into Thursday night. The Pittsburgh Steelers are currently 4-1 to begin the 2025 NFL season. In what could well be Aaron Rodgers' final season playing professional football, he appears to have positioned himself for a chance to win a championship on his way out. Granted, it's just Week 7. There is no guarantee that the Steelers will even be a playoff team by the end of the season. However, the aggressive offseason that Pittsburgh put together appears to be paying off. Rodgers has played well through the first 5 games of the year, and the team around him has played at a high level. Unfortunately for the Steelers, their contention could end as quickly as it started. If they are unable to find a suitable successor for Rodgers, the team could struggle during the 2026 NFL season, assuming he does retire. With that in mind, all eyes are on next offseason when it comes to Pittsburgh's quarterback situation. Could the front office target a proven veteran quarterback? Will the Steelers focus on finding a long-term starter in the NFL draft? Only time will tell, but a new suggestion has been made for Pittsburgh to find Rodgers' heir. Jordan Reed of ESPN has released a new 2026 mock draft. He has Pittsburgh landing Alabama breakout quarterback Ty Simpson with the number 30 overall pick in the first round. It's essential for the Steelers to find the heir apparent under center to soon-to-be 42-year-old Aaron Rodgers, and I think Simpson has been the most impressive of the draft-eligible quarterbacks, Reed wrote. Despite the need, Pittsburgh waited until round 6 to pick a QB this past April, Will Howard. It can't wait that long again. Like Moore, Simpson is an inexperienced starter. All 6 career starts have come this season. It's not certain that Simpson will declare for the 2026 draft, but league evaluators have taken notice of his impressive stretches this season. He has thrown 16 TD passes and just 1 interception this season. Simpson has been looking the part of a potential Heisman Trophy contender so far this year. He has thrown for 1,678 yards, 16 touchdowns, and just 1 interception so far this year, while completing 70.9% of his passes. In addition, he has picked up 58 yards and scored 2 more touchdowns on the ground. On the outside looking in, Simpson could be a very intriguing target for the Steelers. Expect to continue hearing a lot of speculation about what Pittsburgh will do at quarterback after Rodgers. Simpson is one potential option to keep an eye on heading into next offseason if he continues playing at the level he has shown this year for Alabama. When the Cincinnati Bengals selected Shamar Stewart with the 17th overall pick in last spring's NFL draft, there was a collective groan among Houday Nation. Why would they waste a first-round pick on a guy with only 4.5 sacks in 3 seasons in the SEC? Well, in short time, Stewart began to show what the team saw in him. While the Bengals didn't immediately thrust the young pass rusher into action, Stewart earned his way up the depth chart and began to make an impact despite scarce playing time. In 2 games, Stewart has a grand total of 1 solo tackle and 1 assisted tackle. However, most of his impact is not on the stat sheet. In the season-opening win over the Cleveland Browns, Stewart was on the field for 37 defensive snaps and did not record a tackle. Despite that, Pro Football Focus loved his debut. generated some serious pressure during his 37 snaps. Interested to see how he develops this season. The rookie from Texas A&M earned an 88.9 grade, the second best on the defense for the game. Again, he didn't record a single tackle. At the same time, he generated 3 pressures and was the star of a viral moment on Twitter as he tossed away Big Thanos, DeJuan Jones, as if he was a 160-pound slot receiver. His 26.1% pass rush win rate was the second best among rookie defensive linemen in the week. Stewart also had a batted pass at the line that was wiped away by a defensive holding. After being knocked out of the win over the Jacksonville Jaguars, Stewart's ankle seems healed enough that he's set to return on Thursday night. Stewart's expected return comes at a perfect time. Trey Hendrickson was knocked out of last week's loss to the Green Bay Packers with some sort of hip injury. Over the last few seasons, Hendrickson has not just been the star of the defense. He was the defense. Considering the fact that he is a pass rush specialist, it just goes to show why the Bengals' defense has struggled. Thus far this year, Hendrickson is off to a solid start. He has 4 sacks, 15 total tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 8 quarterback hits, a pass breakup, and a forced fumble. His sack production has slowed down a bit. Hendrickson recorded a sack in each of the first 2 games and has only managed any more in the loss to Detroit, when he sacked Jared Goff twice. Aside from Hendrickson, the pass rush is non-existent. He represents 4 of the 10 sacks from the defensive line, with Joseph Ossai behind him with 2 sacks. With back-to-back DNPs from Hendrickson leading up to the Thursday night matchup with the Steelers, there is a tangible fear that the star pass rusher will be unavailable. As much as the Bengals would like to get Stewart and Hendrickson in the lineup for what could be considered a must-win game already this year, only having Stewart is a fine consolation prize. Time for a Shamar Stewart breakout. Aaron Rodgers is approximately 70 years old, but he is showing with his new team that he can still sling it. The Steelers' offensive line has allowed 9 sacks, tied for the 6th fewest in the NFL. Part of that is due to the fact that Rodgers and the Steelers' offense prioritize getting the ball out quickly. Remember the infamous Jermaine Pratt interview, where he just kept repeating, "quick game"? It'll be more of the same. The Steelers' offensive line is vulnerable. Stewart is no Myles Garrett, so don't think that's what we are saying. However, Garrett played incredibly well against the Steelers last week, where he straight up beat his man 5 times, but only generated 1 pressure. Pittsburgh was able to neutralize the best pass rusher in the NFL, so the Bengals' hopes are slim. Stewart is adept at creating chaos and getting pressure. He may not be recording those tangible stats you see on Pro Football Reference, but he has shown that he can affect the game in his small sample size. Ideally, Hendrickson is being held out all week, so he can just rest and get back onto the field for the Bengals. Stewart is expected to have a big role. It'll be even bigger if Hendrickson cannot go. Several weeks ago, a major trade shook up the NFL landscape, particularly in the AFC North. The Cleveland Browns sent veteran quarterback Joe Flaco to the Cincinnati Bengals, a team struggling amid the loss of starter Joe Burrow to injury for a significant stretch of the season. That trade sparked blunt remarks by Pittsburgh Steelers coach Mike Tomlin, who questioned the reason a deal would occur like that between 2 teams in the same division. In particular, Tomlin indicated he didn't understand why one team might help out a division rival in need of a solid starting QB. To be honest, it was shocking to me. Andrew Berry must be a lot smarter than us, because it doesn't make sense to me to trade a quarterback that you think enough of to make your opening day starter to a division opponent that's hurting in that area, Tomlin told reporters. Those remarks arrived ahead of a clash in Thursday Night Football, where Flaco and the Bengals will host Tomlin's Steelers, led by veteran QB Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers and Flaco, both at least 40, are reportedly good friends since they've been in the league together for so long. Both are former Super Bowl winners, with Rodgers leading the Green Bay Packers to a championship and Flaco leading the Ravens to one. Ahead of what some have joked is the icy hot bowl between the 2 older quarterbacks, Flaco gave his honest reaction to Tomlin criticizing the huge trade. "I didn't get to see how upset he was. But, I think he's probably just playing the game a little bit and doing whatever he has to do," he said during Tuesday's press conference. In a 27-18 loss to Green Bay during Week 6, Flaco finished with 29 of 45 completions for 219 yards and 2 touchdowns. Before his arrival, the team relied on backup Jake Browning, who suffered 3 losses in his 3 starts. Tomlin's remarks arrived after his Steelers defeated the Browns, 23-9. Pittsburgh will attempt to improve to 5-1 with a win at Cincinnati, while the Bengals try to improve their 2-4 record with a win. Most likely, Tomlin was attempting to stir things up a bit with his comments. His criticism was directed more at the Browns' general manager than Flaco or the Bengals, though. According to an NFL report, he also admitted during his remarks that the trade certainly made sense from Cincinnati's perspective.